from afar, and that spike carapace was just such an issue. So Kaka thrives on this hero. He's played 4 Nyx Assassin games in 2 or 3. He's won all of them. He's Master T Nyx. He knows how to play this hero, knows the limits. And if there's any way to get RNG over the line, I think it is off the back of his Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, I agree. That Nyx Assassin, of course, Gojira. He's been taunting us all tournament, queuing up the Midas and never going for it. Thank God.
He did go 1 game, actually.
No, he didn't.
Are you sure? No, I'm like 98%
I remember. It was
going
to be 3 of them getting it, and he didn't. He switched out and got the Blink Dagger. The correct choice.
I'm going to double check after this. I reckon you're wrong.
So spiteful.
What are you so spiteful? I have a vivid memory of seeing his Midas on cooldown.
Okay. Right,
Maybe it's just your boomer memory coming
We got
through.
A game to cast, all right? There's no South America
now.
in this game.
I'm not looking now.
This is RNG Western Europe, and well, Western Europe. There's a little bit of pride coming through here. Tundra were the first team eliminated from the entire tournament. The only team that has upper bracket secured is Entity right now.
First things first, Dix. Who's their money on?
And that's with a stand-in. It is a European stand-in, but it's from an NA team. Saberlight, I think it was Loda that asked on Twitter a little bit earlier yesterday who everyone's top 3 players of the tournament had been so far, and I said Faith Beyond, Saberlight, and DJ were my top 3.
What are your thoughts on TSM being in 2nd place in both groups?
Now the battle begins.
Easy clap. Always going to happen. See Dota, best Dota.
When I saw that, I thought that was quite funny, actually. I'm like, oh, damn, they're actually 2nd in both groups? Damn. Good comment from someone I saw in Twitch chat. See, Twitch chat can provide some decent entertainment. They can say a couple of good lines here and there.
Twitch chat are 10k MMR, okay? They have information, imagination, theories, and straight up bullshit beyond their years.
I mean, for Liquid, you're spamming ZyJ, but what do they spam for RNG? Yeah, when you're for South America, you got the
Something else that they're doing is switching up these lanes here. Insanium and Tumperman, they're top against this Terrorblade. So something a little bit different. I mean, the Quill Spray isn't going to be massively effective against the Terrorblade, I suppose, but it does make this change up a little bit weird as well. You've also got Kaka up here with the TB2, so they scouted out the fact that this change-up had happened, and it means that X-Nova is going to be able to follow Zai around, so well done by RNG.
Okay, so it means Arna's going to get a lot of farm top. There's nothing Bristol's going to be able to do to deal with the Terrorblade. He's got a crap load of armor. And I think has he got stick coming up? Yeah, he's got stick coming out. So Arna's going to be fine top lane. I think bottom is really where the aggression's going to be. This should still be a favored lane for Liquid. Again, I don't think the Abaddon in this matchup is a big counter because of what the Marcy's able to do. And they're playing the safe lane now, which means they have more room to chase down RNG, which is exactly what you want with these 2 heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's all about that level 2 timing for Boxy. He needs to make sure that he's got that dispose at the ready to be able to catch someone out immediately after X-Nova uses the Aphotic Shield there. They're even looking to break a few of these trees just to prevent X-Nova from moving in, trying to harass, because, of course, Abaddon, one of those really annoying position 5s that just have an insane amount of movement speed, decent enough attack animation, where you're able to bully away the enemy a little bit. There we go, level 2, instantly. They're trying to wait for the Aphotic Shield before disposing.
I'm going to do it afterwards instead. Chalice still taking a bunch of damage, but he's got the Selv to play with in this lane. You see also the amount of resources they're playing with. X-Nova, 3 mangoes. He's even got a Selv, so they recognize this is going to be a battle of the nutrition down bottom.
A few right clicks here. He's getting a tiny bit low. I mean, he's got the salve available and the tangos, but surely that's not what he was expecting. And it's really just about the fine line of being able to use the plasma field to be able to harass and CS, but you can't have Chalice just pushing the lane out.
He might be in trouble, X-Nova. He should go down.
More than might.
Yep, there we go. First blood's going to be picked up eventually for Liquid, and you'd love to give it to Zai, but Boxy snagged that himself, so a great start for them down bottom.
You expect that to be the case in any Viper lane, right? Except maybe a Razor plus an aggressive support, but Abaddon just isn't that. Speaking of the Razor itself, he's gone on again, level 3 as well on Zai, so he's going to be pumping in a little bit more of that poison damage.
Foxy actually might be in trouble. Although Zai's going to push on forward to stack up the poison attack, and Chalice, he should tick out one charge, is buying some time, but it's not enough. And now the Abaddon as well. Zai's going to look to turn it back around. The shield breaks off some of the poison stacks for the moment. So X-Nova will be able to reposition the tower, but Liquid continuing with this strong start. All the aggression coming out from them down bottom.
He was just 5 HP short from being able to survive there on Chalice. He had the Tango ticking, he'd used the stick, he was underneath the tower for the extra regen, but it just wasn't enough. There's just so much action on the bot side. Top, though, they're looking to make a little bit of a play here onto Kaka. He's body blocking, though, to make sure that Ana might be able to get a few of these hits in onto the Bristle, and oh, the miss! The miss!
Oh, no! The miss! They made it so they trade each other's lives. Oh, God.
Oh, thank you, Gaben. He gives, he takes away.
Ana's like...
Still, though, you're going to be happy with the Terrorblade being able to pick up this amount of farm. Obviously, like you said before, Zai would have loved to be able to get that first blood kill. The fact that he hasn't means that he's only about 100 or so net worth ahead of Chalice, even despite the fact that he's died, and they're needing to use a lot of their gold onto regen just to make sure that he's able to stay in the lane.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of the rotations come out from the Void Spirit and the puck down bottom, so it is something that both Liquid and RNG have to keep tabs on. Really, that level 6 is what we're looking for Mickey and Somnus to start to get involved.
Speaking of Mickey, he's doing a decent enough job against the puck. Trading relatively well in terms of the regen front.
If he gets 6 off this creep, he's going to go. Yeah, Somnus going to be in trouble. They know the ult's on cooldown. It's a beautiful glyph from Mickey. The understanding with the ult being on cooldown, he can get aggressive under the tower, and one more right click gets the kill. Mickey understanding perfectly that he has this 6 advantage.
And look at what wave it is as well. It's the siege creep wave. I believe as well X-Nova was starting to use his TP mid, so no one's going to be able to soak up a lot of this experience. It's a lot of resources going away from RNG.
Oh man, even Insania rotates, gives him a little bit of mana to work with. It's gonna help secure the rune. What a start to help out Mr. Mickey.
And Insania is just gonna stick around. Kaka knows Insania is here. Oh, the freshly placed Observer Ward as well, instantly removed.
Let's see if they get the RNG though. Mickey's gonna jump in, refreshing the ability. Somnus though's in trouble for the moment, all but a couple seconds, but Somnus goes down for the second time in a row. That's coil expanded, and now they're going to look at Kaka. Sanya's got the chakra up in a couple of seconds to refresh the abilities, but Liquid, they are so happy with getting Somnus once again.
I've been really happy with the Liquid game style. Whenever they look to go aggressive like this, they're just great when they're able to play that slightly faster speed than the enemy team.
He's going to be in trouble here. Zai with the last tick. It's another lane that's continuing to not go as well as what RNG would be hoping.
And then top side as well. He's equal with a Terrorbladed farm, which again was kind of what we were expecting to happen with this lane, considering the high armor on the TB against the Bristle. You don't really care all that much. He was also able to get that kill up against Martu. And now that he's level 7, straight back to the jungle. Like Conjure Image, that's going to be the thing farming up a lot of these neutral camps. But it does mean that your map's going to start to shrink. No one can rotate up to this top side on RNG. Nyx and the Abaddon are terrible at stopping split push.
We're going to see that damage issues come out pretty shortly here for RNG. And I feel like level issues as well. Like Abaddon's not going to make plays, so it's going to be up to the Nyx Assassin level 6. And because the Puck's had a pretty bad lane as well, he won't really be able to connect with the Nyx to try and find these pickoffs.
I'm also liking Mickey's itemization. I know I was talking about before that they might have needed a few things to be able to catch out that puck, but it doesn't seem like he cares about that at all. He's just like, okay, well, we can run over the... What are we watching?
Martu just like that last core, like 500 damage.
So the thing I was saying before was Mickey, he's going first item Aghanim Scepter. Just boots, wand, bottle, Aghanim Scepter. And this is great. This is what I was talking about, right? You just need to take the Abaddon out of the equation. And the way to do that is silence. This is the easiest way for them to be able to pick that up. He's even getting lucky with the runes as well. Haste bottle.
So what is the game plan here for RNG? What do you do when you've had a laning stage like this and you're down 2,000 gold?
I think what Somnus is doing, basically, make a rotation down bottom, try and secure a kill, but, well, they're going to walk right on past a Observer Ward. They should have it dewarded soon enough, but you could just see from the way that Zai and Boxy are positioning themselves in the lane, normally they'd be feeling really confident, right? Getting super greedy and being like, we own this lane, but the fact that they're backing off means that they have that pure information. Somnus needs to go back to mid and try and salvage something out of this game for RNG.
I think RNG need to also get set up for this catapult that's going to spawn in the next minute 20 in Liquid. They want to put pressure on the tower beforehand.
Why not? If you've just got such a dominant start to the game, you've got that Vanguard, which means you can tank up the tower. Matsu even just turning his back whenever he can to get those bristles going.
So, what's Insane you're up to back here? This is, this is the enemy's territory, brother. Oh, distraction. It's just so they can take the T1. I understand. He's making them work for it, because meanwhile, bottom lane as well. Insane will go down, but Zai's also in trouble. Well, the distraction doesn't particularly pay off, it looks like, for Liquid as RNG gets some pretty big kills across the map.
I think they're actually okay with that in general, though, right? Like, you take the mid-tier 1 tower, and like I said before, if you're showing on the lanes, Liquid have the lineup to just run at you and kill you. They don't have the greatest jungle invading lineup, so if you could just take away a few of those towers that enable the entrances into the jungle, it means that Matsu could play like this. He could position himself in the jungle. He doesn't need to farm the lane creeps. That's something that even Insania can do, right? On his Keeper of the Light and get a decent amount of farm. He's going to spend his time stacking, though. Yeah. Nicely done.
The double. Of course, they do have a Observer Ward nearby.
They have no one that's going to be able to take it away.
I was just going to say, you think it might be a bit too difficult for them to be able to contest that stack, however?
I think it's going to be a lot difficult.
He's in a lot of trouble top lane. He's got the Spike Carapace to work with, but the Goose and Quills are stacking up, and even Insania nearby to be able to refresh the abilities, and Insania's going to look for the yoink. Matsu will chase him down with ease, and meanwhile, down bottom by the outpost, Xnova's in a peculiar position, to say the least, as Boxy and Zion combination together. We'll get another kill for Liquid across the map.
He's just being an Observer Ward, you know? That's all he was doing. Just let the man do his thing. The lane didn't go too well, and he was just like, look, at least I'm giving Ana information. It's going very, very well for Liquid right now. Itemizing, just like I would expect, going straight into that Dragonlance. He wants to... You don't want... Like, Puck doesn't want to run at you if you just are able to tank up a little bit, and you have that movement, like I was saying before, from the Marcy. Honestly, feels like probably Zai is going to be the one receiving a lot of these side kicks from Boxy as opposed to Matumba. He doesn't need it. He's already going to be survivable enough. It's just going to be pumped in onto Zai.
Yeah, I wonder what he itemizes after Dragonlance, though. Like, if it's going to be BKB's second item, or if he feels like he needs an armor item. Because I think he will, at some stage, maybe like Shiva's third. He actually could go AC if Matsu doesn't want to go down that route. Because you're going to have... Like, Viper is really, really... The way you kill the Viper is off the back of the physical damage. So we'll hold that thought as... Yeah.
They're trying to invade this stack taking. If they could get this kill onto Matsu and steal some of that farm away, that'd be huge. Kill. But I don't think they'll have the damage to do it, man.
They've got the sentry. They're going to see Karkas shortly. Yeah, Matsu is aware of this. Instantly looking to TP in. And they can take the fight on Liquid. They need to bring the numbers.
They do take the hard camp, though, on RNG. So that's a bit of a bonus coming out.
But they target down though. Matsu's got to run down Chalice. Soaking away the damage onto the Marcy at the moment. That's not the key target you want to take out of the fight. As Matsu can step in without a care in the world. Midgate's going to show up as well. But they will lack the control. Just TP? Oh, just TP. Oh, nothing they can do.
Yep, that is the one area that they're lacking, right? They don't have the greatest ways to lock it down.
Just runs into the Nether Toxin, gets the first stun into the Impale follow-up, and RNG, they've got two members that can join instantly.
And that highlights the importance of having that BKB on Zai, right? He's got the Dragonlance, so he's going to be able to disassemble it to have that slightly faster timing, but you just can't not have it when you're up against a Puck who's just going to be able to lock you in place, allow the Terrorblade to smack you down, same sort of thing with a Razor, and even just the Nyx Assassin, excuse me, the Spine Carapace. You're always going to be able to get off a Carapace if you don't have that BKB.
Don't answer that.
Nice moves coming out from RNG. That Observer Ward really paying off. Eventually it got dewarded
Cannot maintain.
over
Will
space
always
creation
fall.
once again. So this is an answer that you can go for. Like, obviously, you want to take away farm from a Bristleback because you want to beat his early-ish timings, but you also needed to make sure you took that
If
tier
you're
1
looking
tower
for
bottom
Radiant's bottom
because,
tower,
like I
get
said
ready.
before, it was a great move by
Radiant's
Liquid
top
to
tower is
emphasize
under
taking mid-tier 1 tower as well as top because that opens up the jungle, prevents TB from being able to farm.
thinks
But
Radiant's
what does Ana
bottom
do?
tower is
They
about
just
to
take
fall.
the enemy's tower, put a lot more emphasis onto that so that now he can farm in the Radiant side of the map. So nicely done. It's away from what Liquid want to be achieving right now, which is just constant pressure onto the Dire side.
Haka is scouting out Mickey. Zai's going to be playing behind him. They also have Boxy to the north as well. A bit unsure of where RNG positioned, but they are very close to some timings for Liquid. Almost Scepter completed on Mickey. Martu's almost got his Scepter as well. We'll need one more component. And are we worried that RNG are not going to be able to have the ways to be able to combat this really big timing that's about to arrive from Liquid?
Yeah, that's it, 100%. You're not going to have anything, right? You don't have the Blink Dagger to disrupt the backlines on the Puck. You don't have the BKB on the Razor. Abad isn't really going to hit any sort of timing, really, to be able to respond to this. And yeah, Nyx Assassin Blink is going to be ages away. So yeah, this is the time right now for Liquid. If they can invade, take out Terrorblade in
might be in
particular.
trouble. Mickey just picked up the Scepter. He's going to look to jump. Holding the Resonant Pulse until the follow-up is there, but it's off the mark with the ulti and the Remnant.
I was about to say they're going to try and turn around, but again, RNG don't want to fight into this item timing. They know that if they're smoking, they've got something really important, so it's just about splitting up the map, in particular, pushing out this bottom lane. Liquid don't want to come bot. They want to get more objectives. They want to open up the Roche pick because you've got the minus armor coming through from the Bristleback to be able to take that. So if you can just force people down bot and also get the gold for your Blink Dagger, it's going to be a big win for Somnus and RNG.
I think Liquid, if RNG keep avoiding them, they might just run in the pit and say, alright, if you're going to avoid us, we're just going to look to take an objective, and if you don't come, we'll get ages. If you come, we'll win the fight. So this is going to be a difficult decision from RNG.
Zai putting himself up on the top side, shoving out the wave as much as he can with that Nether Toxin. Still feel like they need a little bit more damage, even popping the Unleash to potentially take out this Roche a little faster. Looks like they're ready to make the rotation through on RNG. With the smoke, 5 men. They don't have the Dream Call yet, though, on Somnus. They want to see if you can try and take out Boxy. I think that's the great start.
Gonna scout them out. Karkar's gonna look to
he's
move
facing
forward
him.
as well. Martu's in trouble with Arna's damage. Martu should go down to start the fight. That is a perfect start for RNG, but Liquid, they're looking to hit back. Mickey's gonna find the Nyx Assassin off to the side. A 4-on-4, but can they continue? And even Karkar's gonna look to buy back as well. They want to take this Aegis advantage away from Liquid.
Got the one silence coming through
Need
from
the
the
vision to
Resident
go for the
Pulse.
steal. Mickey's trying to line up, but Roche isn't low just yet to get the jump. Gotta be cautious of Arna's health pool. He's in with the Sunder, but X-Nova trying to protect him, but it's not enough. Coming through from the shield. Aegis gonna be snagged up from Charles for the coil, leashing Liquid inside of the pit as RNG. You lose Arna, but you take so much more out of this team fight.
Oh, that was just so unfortunate for Martu. Like, he just hit his big timing, right? He had the Aghanim Scepter available, but it just meant that he instantly got hit by that Spike Carapace. They had the vision as well of the Nyx Assassin being roaming around. The Sentry Ward was down. Somnus should still be fine, although Martu, with the highly skilled QW spam coming out, trying to take out X-Nova. Somnus has to be careful here. Looks like they'll be able to secure 1 kill at least, but what a big fight coming through from RNG, being able to secure that Aegis for, honestly, the most vulnerable hero on their team in the Razor. He still wants to be the one going in onto the front line.
And do we feel like Liquid are playing on a timer here? Like, is this something that we have to be worried about at them not being able to find this first big spike in the game with that Roshan?
I think so. I just want to have a quick look at that replay, actually, just while we've got the time for it, because it was just really big plays to be able to pick up that Bristleback. I want to see what happened with Ana. Like, he dropped a lot lower. Did he miss his Sunder target? I feel like he went from really high to really low. Yeah, but I feel like he sundered a teammate. Like, did he sunder Chalice or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there we go.
No, yeah.
Dire's top
It
tower
was
is
just
under
pretty
attack.
minimal HP coming through there, but
Do Radiant
still,
long-term
Roche fight working out really well for them.
power?
In terms of what you said about the timing, I think it's not necessarily like the carry-to-carry matchup per se,
Radiant's middle
but
tower
now
is
that you've
under
got the Blink Dagger on Somnus, like this supporting
Dire's
cast
top
from the
tower
Coddle and the Marcy that are buffing up the Bristle and the Viper accordingly, it's just so much weaker, right? You can lock in onto them, you're not going to be able to rebound yourself away, you're not going to be able to run away with Coddle's insane movement speed. So if those are
Do
gone, then
Radiant
suddenly
want
this
their
big
middle tower
team
to
fight
fall?
spike that you've got
Dire's
with
top tower
Martu
has
and the
fallen.
Viper,
Dire's
and
top
honestly
tower
even the
has
Aghanim Scepter on Mickey is so much weaker.
So you really feel like it's Liquid shouldn't be too concerned about not being able to match the scaling late game.
Oh, I mean, it's a Terrapin, right? You're always going to have issues with that. But what I'm saying is, in terms of right now, in a one-to-one situation, Bristle, Viper, Void Spirit should still be okay. It's just about the rest. What is the rest able to do? So it's really going to be on the positioning of Insania and Boxy, making sure they're not getting caught out super early on. And, I mean, Martu was just a little bit unfortunate in that last fight, but he ended up getting stunned facing the entire RNG team.
Boxy popping the unleash. A little bit of a dispel, but Martu's going to look to run the opposite direction, so Boxy will not find a target to leap off. There's a smoke from
Should have tried to
RNG.
cliff someone, Boxy. You were right there.
A dieback as well from Boxy, so we're going to be down in the grave for a little bit longer this game. For me, I feel like Liquid, if they don't get second Roche, they're going to be really worried about the Terrorblade late game, and I think RNG should be able to just buff up Honor enough that he's going to take over. Like he had a much better lane than kind of we were expecting off the back of the draft because of them being able to swap the lanes, and he got involved early down bottom with a couple of key kills. And this is a Terrorblade that's going to get a ridiculous amount of farm, so the fact that he's matching kind of the net worth of Martu is a big concern for me. I think Skadi maybe +1. What does he go? Skadi, do you reckon BKB afterwards, or is he going to start considering maybe like a Silver's Edge?
I wouldn't hate the Silver's Edge, but I mean, you need stats still on this Terrorblade, right? We saw there that he's somewhat capable of being burst down. There's not the most that you need to be all that concerned about in terms of, like, I guess the magic damage is okay, but you've got the Abaddon to be able to protect you against things like the Silence, and Void Spirit's going to be focusing mostly on just keeping that Abaddon silence. So I don't think that BKB is super needed early on. He might just look to go into more damage as well, right? I always said he needs stats, but I might prefer the Silver Edge is better than a Daedalus. Yeah, just go down that route.
See though, this is big for RNG. Just looking like a farming ages for them. 40 seconds left on the Immortal on Chalice. And he's going to be working into the Refresher next item as well. And it feels like for Chalice, who's that number one target Razor wants to take out of the fight? I'm looking at like the Viper. Are you on the same boat?
Yes, Viper is the one. Like, it's really annoying, right? Because you wanted to be running at the Viper.
Boxy here. I was even going to pop a BKB to get the kill. Really good positioning from Insania, and that is a victory in itself. And with the Aegis expiring shortly, Liquid, they might look to smoke now.
Yeah, potentially Zai's going to shove out this last wave up top. He's going to have his own BKB, which is going to be very important, like I've been saying before, against the Nyx and the Puck in particular. You want to be able to fight for your team. Just stand there and right-click. Marcy's going to enable you to do that. So, yeah, this is a really big timing. I thought maybe RNG would have been able to punish that with the fact that he didn't disassemble the Dragonlance. Would have been a little bit slower, but now they've got both. Now Viper is a real concern, honestly, for RNG's lineup. You could take out this Razor early on into these team fights.
Got the BKB also completed on Martu, so they're actually going to look to smoke down and maybe connect to the Bristleback's location, but going to this triangle, it's very difficult. Look at the positioning out of X-Nova, really nicely done from the support on RNG, just playing in front of this Terrorblade. Okay, Smoke's gonna pop. Does he jump without getting the vision? Gonna see X-Nova for the moment. The Spike Carapace gonna hold
what
him
a
back.
carapace!
Oh, Kaka! What have you done to them? Liquid, they weren't ready. The counter initiation was on point as Kaka's Nyx assassin. We brought it up. He had to be the X Factor for them in this game, and we've seen that so far.
Best Nyx in the world, man. Like, he just does so much with this hero. Constantly able to scout out. His positioning, even prior to that, I know you were praising X-Nova, but he was covering the left stairs as well. So just being this constant roamer, the preemptive use of the Spike Carapace, because, again, they are lacking in control on Team Liquid's side. It's really only that Marcy plus the Void Spirit. Let's have a quick look again at just those quick fingers, quick mind as well. He instantly sees the Marcy bounding on in, puts himself onto the key target, which is that Abaddon, gets the double stun through, and then it's just easy as pie for Ana to be able to jump through.
RNG. It's like
The wise old man, they like to call him.
The wise old man has helped them accumulate the first net worth lead they've had of this game. 23 minutes in, we're even in kills, but it was a bit of a window that Liquid had, knowing the Aegis was on cooldown, so the Aegis ticked out and the BKB was on cooldown from Chalice. And dude, Kaka, not again, man. What are you doing to them?
He's got Blink in one.
Oh,
Easy clap.
Kaka! Oh, tip him! What are you doing, RNG? Give this guy some tips.
So they're going to be looking for Chalice right now. They saw the courier coming from the secret shop towards the Dire jungle, so they're thinking that, okay, we weren't able to figure out our highest target. Maybe we can still get Chalice, but no, he's going to be able to back up just in time. This is just... It's one of the big weaknesses of this Marcy hero, right? We've seen it be the case when it's being played as a core. It's even more pronounced if you're not getting a bunch of these kills if you're playing as a support. You have almost no farming tools, and it's so important for Boxy to get this Blink Dagger, because we just saw what happened, right? If he has to rebound in to be able to catch out one of these high-priority targets, you can get Carapaced, you can get locked down, whereas if you just get that Blink disposed, like that's his use right in this game, honestly. Breaking smokes, trying to bring Matu and the rest of Team Liquid to their next item.
So you mentioned that Boxy isn't able to, he doesn't have the capability to be able to keep up in farm like someone like the Keeper of the Light. As we see Insania, he's got a ridiculous amount of net worth to play with. And what can we see Insania do in these team fights? What is that item that maybe can help Liquid have an advantage here in the upcoming fights?
Honestly, I'm struggling to find out what it might be. I mean, if you go super greedy, you can get into the Aghanim Scepter, of course. You know, Razor, Terrorblade, they don't really like to be able to turn onto a different target. They want to be just bursting through your team instead. Something else that's a possibility if you wanted to get super greedy is going into like a Scythe of Vice onto the Keeper of the Light, because that is one of the ways to instantly lock down the puck. You can get the Nyx Assassin locked when he doesn't have the... so he can't get Carapace damage back onto you. When we see this sort of lineup, the typical answers against a puck and a Nyx Assassin is Alliant, just because you're always going to be able to get that instant jump hex and there's no counterplay to it.
Well, it's a big tower for RNG to take. This top T1 tower is going to be able to open up the triangle, because Roche will be up in a minute, so you need that control for RNG if you're going to be able to secure the second Roche of the game, and this really will dictate potentially who can take game one.
So they've given the gem. Insania bought it up previously, and they've just given it over to Matu. He is tired of this Kaka Nyx Assassin finding him out and just ruining his day every single team fight. Honestly, like, Liquid had these two huge timings, and they made the right moves for it. RNG just scouted it out entirely.
See the odds? Dude, RNG's odds right now over Liquid, that is not what I would expect. What's the probability? 78%.
Yeah. I mean, they still are a very, very strong lineup, right? Like, Bristleback with all of these buffs can run you down. It's just about finding the right initiation. So big credit has to go to RNG supports. And, well, they just checked the Roshan, and it's respawned right afterwards. So Kaka might be the first one to get that information. They actually see him here.
Sonda's gonna jump.
A bit greedy. Oh, the coil!
To 3. Ana's gonna be able to move into follow-up as well. They've broken the coil instantly, so Mickey's gonna be okay on the left side, but Liquid, they don't want to stick around to take the team fight. They could fill up their resources and go back in. That is a win. Meta expended, coil expended to RNG force Roche.
Even just that first Eye of the Storm as well. Assassin with the Vendetta going forward, trying to find the key target. If he can take out either Insania or Boxy, that would be huge.
They're going to see Zai.
That's why they're trying to go for this back line.
They're going to see Zai. Kaka's in. He's under the T2 tower. Zai can pop the BKB, but it's actually going to be Matu that charges in the middle. Mickey's got the follow-up as well. Alive. They haven't been able to kill off the Nyx just yet, or X-Nova, and it looks like Liquid on the retreat. They're not trying to take the head-on-head fight because they know the meta is soon to expire. But they did expend the BKB, which is really important to enable Matu just to beeline into the middle.
Still, though, I'm not sure they're too worried about the damage coming back their way as well. This is something that I was talking about during the draft, is that RNG are going to suffer from this when meta's not available. Abaddon, Nyx provide you basically nothing.
Kaka, he eats the remnant, they get the stun pull up, Mickey's in trouble! They need a way to be able to protect the Void Spirit, that's where the Force stuff can come into play, and then Martu picks up the double damage dribble, just charging to the middle, bashing down one, moving to the Terrorblade next, Ana, he turns it back around with the Sunder, the buybacks are coming up from RNG, but can they reconnect to the team fight fast enough? As 8th the Remnant will hold back the escape of the Terrorblade. They've got to dissimulate to get the kill. It's all on Somnus now to turn the fight back around. He secures the double.
The stuns
he
again.
Away. Karka's going to move forward as well. Off the mark, Josh with the stun. Chelsea is going to try and charge up the high gun as well, but they need to respect Liquid. Martu back in the action, and he wants revenge, and he'll find it on X-Nova. An easy kill to the Abaddon for the control. That's one thing that's lacking on Liquid for the moment. They can't keep the puck locked into place. So Somnus, he'll be out to the right side, but Chalice, he will not have the same fate. Martu will easily chase down the Razor, securing a big kill to the offlaner on RNG, and Somnus will continue to clean up the fights though.
Oh, what a big fight for Liquid. Just being able to finally turn something around, get an objective that they've been pushing so hard for, and it's all on the back of just being able to find out that Nyx Assassin towards the start. He was, for the first time, a tiny bit slow. It just let the Viper get underneath the tier 2 tower, let the 4 staffs come into play. Might have even been another one of those instances where Ana, to his credit, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger or that quick way to be able to close on into the team fight, but the damage was lacking. They couldn't clean up that first pick-off that they found.
I think Insania had the ag shot for that fight, so maybe they were able to TP in the Martu Bristle off the back of the buyback.
We might see it with the replay. Oh, so tense this game.
How do you even
so much on the line?
I was going to say, how do you replay this, man? It went for so long. It looks like this is the start of it, though.
But you just see, like, Ana, he's moving a little bit slow because a lot of that emphasis is, like, just keep him out of the fight. He is the damage. We can't let Mickey go down here. And Mickey's positioning in this fight is really good. Just constantly diving himself in, diving himself out. They're able to get a decent enough turnaround there with Ana. But eventually, at the end, he does fall. But, yeah, Mickey just playing the team fight so incredibly well. And, well, Liquid, they're right back into this. Those odds... They're starting to get a little bit more towards even.
So okay, it does look like Martu picked up the ag shot as well. So he's going to be working with a hairball. Of course, he's got the Aegis to play with as well. Liquid back in the lead in regards to the net worth. What can we see them do with this Aegis though? Do you feel like they're ready to fight straight away?
Well, now they are. Boxy Blink Dagger. That's what I've been waiting for this entire game, and it's taken him 31 minutes to get there, but it is going to be so impactful this game. Just to be able to find that instant lockdown onto really any of these targets, right? Like, the only one that you don't want to find is probably the Abaddon and maybe the Terrorblade. Ana's going to have someone playing alongside him, but you take out the Nyx Assassin, the Viper, Bristle, Void Spirit have free games. You take out the Razor, Viper... his life becomes a lot easier. You take out the puck, the control is there. You don't need a BKB.
Chalice is in trouble. They're going to look to reveal the blink here. Nice read. Just escapes, looking to connect back with his team. Insane is going to drop the ward down. They can get the jump. It's all going to be off the back of Boxy. They're in with the combo and Razor's out of this fight. As Martu, he can chase down for some more targets. They have any stuns? They do not. So X-Nova, successful TP out.
Like that with R2's
Somnus
itemization
mid lane.
as well.
They get the first stun. Your ult on cooldown now as well. The Hunter's going to look to buy him a little bit of time. The follow-up probably isn't going to be there as Boxy has already used the stuns to be able to catch up.
He's disposed Martu just to give him a little bit of extra speed. I honestly feel like this Bristle might move faster than a frickin' dispose.
High ground off this?
Good. At least test some buybacks perhaps. Looks like they're not feeling all that confident, just waiting for the creep wave. So he's forced the TP on back and prevent the wrap from happening.
Keep in mind, there were 3 buybacks used prior from RNG as well. The only buyback available is Ana's. And for Radiant, you've got the buyback on Zai and Insania.
But you just see what a difference it makes, right? Having that instant lockdown. They don't burst down Chalice if you don't have that. He's going to be able to react in time. He's going to be able to BKB, so all of that damage just doesn't come through. So the fact that they're able to claim it, and what I was saying before, Martu realizes the fact that they are still, honestly, a little bit lacking. He's going into the Basher next. He's already got the Vanguard, so it's going to make the Abyssal Blade build up just that little bit easier. And, I like it. Just more lockdown to be able to convert onto some of these pickoffs. So Brittany, it's the most important hero on Liquid's side right now is Boxy. Like, his positioning has the potential to win them this game.
I feel like it also comes down to X-Nova and where he's positioned, because he could counter this jump from Boxy. He gets that shield off, and the turnaround's going to be there. You know, maybe it's onto the Razor, they jump. All of a sudden, Chalice pops BKB, Eye of the Storm, and now you're in the middle of it all.
It'll be rough, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how does he get in? He's only got a 4-star. Like,
It's got to be
not enough.
perfect positioning from X-Nova, and that is difficult to do, especially in a game like this.
Honestly, even once the Basher comes out on Martu, like, I'm not sure if X-Nova's positioning is even going to matter.
Doing a lot of poke damage. They just for 30 seconds until the reclaim. They're going to look to smoke out and connect. They see that the Viper TP'd away. They're going to have the recall shortly to be able to bring it back. Martu, 15 seconds left. Spiderlegs gets him inside the river. The bonus movement speed coming out as well, RNG, to continue running up to the higher gun. This is a scary fight to take now without any vision.
Don't you love Marcy? All that extra movement speed, the rebound basically completely negating the effects of the reflection.
Hero's cool and all.
More than that.
Mickey, don't go for it. Mickey, don't go for it. First stun. Oh, he's going to pop a BKB and actually look to turn onto Kaka. And the big kills, they're going to be able to find it, but they haven't got the kill just yet.
Though.
And now meanwhile,
got
Chalice
Boxy
in the middle of the fight. A BKB is going to charge back Martu, hasn't locked onto the static link, so Liquid. A successful retreat, but they do lose out on Boxy now. Ana just charging forward. Silver's Edge break is out. Zai's not going to be long for this world. 2 kills and Somnus is looking for more. They've got the coil if they want to drop it, but it will not be required. He's going to use it actually afterwards as Insania moves up to the higher gun, and they'll get the kill afterwards.
No buyback on Boxy. You've got it on Insania and Zai, but Ana realizing the only lane that's possible to be pushed in is this top side, immediately moving up there.
They might jump Mickey instantly. They're going to jump Mickey.
Just force a buyback out of them. See how much they want to be able to respond to this. Seems like RNG are happy with that. Just more win conditions. It's only a Viper, but again, we've seen a couple of times now that Martu's actually run completely out of mana, so can take out Insania. It feels like, even though the Terrorblade has that Metamorphosis timer that he needs to play around, he's going to reach this period where he just runs out of mana. Same sort of thing with the Viper, right?
A little bit of lag. Not crazy.
So tense.
Yeah. I feel like both sides would, both sides would like a breath of fresh air to be able to reset themselves in such a crazy game that we have. Of course, the stakes incredibly high as well. Last day of the group stages. Liquid still yet to be able to have their fate, of course, to continue on in the Arlington Major. We do have a replay though, so we'll chuck that one up and we wait to see.
It's just that pick-off that they were able to get there onto the high priority target, Insomnus. Not a pick-off, but at least forcing him away. Oh, it's this cheeky little play that he made. Just jumping away, using the Aeon disc, preventing the follow-up coming through there. Just such great individual skill plays, right? Even Kaka with that retreat previously, you know, didn't have the Blink Dagger up for a couple of seconds, popped the Carapace, gave him plenty of time to be able to get away. Are there any other heroes this game that you're like, this person is synonymous with this hero? Because for now, it's Kaka Nyx. It wasn't always. It used to be like Kaka Lion was the one that I always looked to think of. But in terms of Liquid, probably the Martu Bristleback's up there.
Insania Coddle as well.
Insania Oracle is what I think of when I think of Insania.
Okay. That is a good point. So we have to decide on one hero. Oh. Yeah, alright, I'll give him Seigneur's Oracle. Fair enough. What, do you
There
give
we
Matu the
go.
Bristle then, or the Druid?
Maybe just something green. And I know you've said that Bristol is not green, but in my eyes he is because I am colorblind.
Yeah.
Like his Necro is up there as well, you know.
If I remember correctly, he's got a tattoo of Necro. I can't remember what it was now. But a little memory of his, of course, TI run.
So this is one other thing, just while we've got a little bit of a pause remaining. Zai, the Viper is, I don't want to call it like a pseudo counter to the Razor, because you've got that BKB piercing ultimate, right? And it might not do, you know, the most damage. That's not what he's really itemizing towards. It's just the slow, to be able to slow down this Razor. But obviously doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter yet. He's got it queued up as his next item. But on RNG side, Chalice has just reached level 20. He actually didn't go for the Storm Surge movement speed. He's gone for the Eye of the Storm strike interval. I guess maybe just thinking that, again, it's that damage component that they're lacking a little bit, so maybe that's going to give them a little bit of help, but I still really would have loved to see the Storm Surge movement speed. It's all about just catching out this Coddle who's very speedy, catching out this Marcy who's very speedy. Eventually, you're going to have issues with the Viper Strike onto you if he's able to get into that Aghanim Scepter on Zai.
Just continuing to see the items now that RNG can pick up. Now that they've found a little bit of space across the map, Xnova might be... Jesus, Matu, that one hit just takes away a third of his health. The waste
Not
the
even
ultimate.
25 yet.
He is gone. Yeah, just imagine how much damage Matu's going to be pumping out as soon as he hits that 25. Is RNG considering about moving in? They don't have everyone at the moment. Somnus needs to TP back. They get the break. Instant use of the BKB from Matu, so he's going to be able to reposition. In fact, he wants to charge Chalice down. So a couple BKBs expended.
I mean, double spending the BKBs, I would say, favors RNG, just because, again, you're going to have this Puck that now has an influence. You're going to have this Nyx Assassin that has a stronger influence in these team fights. TB basically only cares about right-clicking. The slows are nice, but just to have that extra tool at your disposal. And look at that. Keeper of the Light going into the Scythe of Vice next. I love it. They realize we need to take care of Puck and Nyx. That's the highest priority.
Yeah, I think Puck has to go, because I'm under the assumption this level 25 on Puck could potentially win them the game, because we just saw what happened in that fight where Matu can get out as soon as the break is utilized. You just pop BKB and you run away. But the level 25 from Somnus is going to stop the Bristle back from repositioning, the Void Spirit as well. If the Viper's in the middle, that means Zai can charge down the Viper and get all the damage from the Static Link. That means Ana, after he gets the break, he can actually kill Matu as well. So I think this... I actually think 25 for Somnus, which he now has picked up, is... I'm really struggling to see how Liquid are going to be able to take these fights unless Somnus goes down first, or maybe it's just a coil that's missed, or he's not at the fight.
Coil that's missed. Very nice.
Well, maybe... it can happen.
Oh, sorry. I was making a pun about Abaddon's first spell.
Oh, God. Oh, God, man. I don't know how...
You've only got one more day of this for a while, so it's you're just gonna have to deal with it.
All right, well, they need Matu's
They
25.
also picked up the AC on Chalice, so that's a big deal. Obviously, he's got the movement speed. Maybe that's why he didn't feel like he needed the Storm Surge, because he's got those spider legs just to be able to catch up in a lot of these team fights. And you know, again, it's all about, like, you don't want to be linking up onto Boxy. But if you could just follow him and use that Eye of the Storm to be able to take him down and right-clicks, then I feel like you're very, very happy and capable of being able to do so.
I really would like to see them give Matu solo experience. This 25 is incredibly important. If he's able to find that, that is a bunch of extra damage just dished out in these fights. Boxy? Oh, that was aggressive.
Going first, my guy.
They have the ward on the high ground.
Be going
Boxy,
first, my guy.
He doesn't have anyone playing behind him. And now Roche is up in 20 seconds, so you need to buy back if you're going to be able to contest this.
Yeah, that's a very odd move. I mean, no one had revealed on the map for the longest time, and just to run completely blind without the rest of the boys there feels kind of nuts.
Smooth.
The easiest,
Okay, he's going to run into Chalice. Parker can get the jump just off the timing with the Spike Carapace. A nice attempt, however.
Like in Karka's itemization as well. Aeon Disc, he's like, well, you're going to have to catch me twice if you want to take me down. Well, there we go. RNG, they get the third Roche. It's an Aghanim's Blessing as well. Okay. I mean, this is weird, right? Because now that Puck is level 25, you don't exactly want to pop the BKB, but if Ana takes the Ags, you might be forced to. He actually gives it over to Karka. I was going to think maybe the Terror Wave would have pushed it away enough that it's going to be a factor. Yeah, they nearly left the Aegis inside the pit. They're like, oi! Make sure you pick that one up, Ana.
Really struggling to see how these team fights are gonna, like, what's the best case scenario for Liquid, because it just feels like RNG continuing to find these late game timings, whether it's items or talents that are just gonna put them with such an advantage. What can you say? How can Liquid take these team fights later on?
Well, I feel like they could take it. Okay, they did give it over to Ana. Good. I was just looking at Karka and he was just holding the Blessing in his inventory, and I was like, does he know that you need to press it? I know it's rare that a position 4 gets given the Ags.
Honestly, I really would have liked the Nyx. I think this hero is going to do way too much in fights. We've spoken about Karka's Nyx, and I felt like with Scepter would have buffed him up, but I understand Honor as well.
But if we see a level 25 coil into the Terror Wave with these massive stuns, then you'll eat your words.
Game-winning stuff. Quickly, what can Liquid do before...
I mean, now you can find the Nyx, right? I mean, he's got the Trickster Cloak as well, which is going to make his life a little bit easier. But yeah, until that Aeon Disc is available, it really feels like the main response. Insania, they're prioritizing his farm. Like, I know Matu wants to get into that Satanic for himself, and it's reaching the point where you kind of have to buy out for this. You're basically not going to be able to fight into it otherwise. You might want to keep for high ground potential, just being able to buy back inside your base as they're trying to siege you.
Might see Boxy. Oh, they're gonna jump. Zai instead of the remnants of the tier 2 tower is gonna be in a little bit of trouble. BKB's gonna be popped. They'll even force staff him inside the base.
That's great by Liquid though. Terror Wave used, BKB used at the perfect time as well, making sure it wasn't going to get that fear onto him and guarantee the coil snap, and then yeah, force staff as well, right on time. So good individual play coming through there from Zai. They do actually end up buying out on Matu. He is level 25 as well. So if he gets onto the right target, which is that Nyx Assassin, this could be huge for Liquid.
DD Terrorblade. Oh god. Look at them wait. Look at them waiting. In they go. The break is out, and Amatu vulnerable, but Boxy with this Aghanim shard. Very interesting shard. What a hero.
Kind of be counterintuitive though, right? You can still just get stunned up by Karka and the Carapace. Ana, one creep wave away from level 25. Never mind, he just got it at the minute mark. So, go into the Metamorphosis cooldown. This just leans even further towards the thing I was talking about before, right? Where if the Coddle is dead or the Marcy is dead, Liquid's team fight feels so much weaker because you're going to be relying on Insania to just keep Matu fully replenished with mana. If you take him out, you've got an extra 20 seconds of that Metamorphosis to have to deal with, and the Terror Wave for another 10 seconds of meta. It just feels like way too much.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
We're going to go into the Nullifier on Chalice next.
Boxy's getting crazy with his positioning. Where's the first one out? Trying to scout them. He's got the Ninja Gear, of course, to play with. No wards at the moment. They're probably, for Liquid, going to stay inside the base for the next minute, then maybe look to smoke out and drop a ward on the high ground and take a fight with the Aegis expiring.
Okay, really ballsy there. I mean, the amount of times that he's been caught out by a Nyx Assassin and he just dissimulates in onto the low ground to try and clear out a creep wave. Those risks that you have to take, but you would hate to be that to be the thing that loses you the game as well. Just looking to use these illusions to be able to clear things out. In position, but again, Matu's level 25, so he's going to be able to do a decent job at clearing them out, even with how tanky they are.
Oh!
Just spooking him, bro.
Spooking me! I see jump, I'm like, oh god, what's going on? Like, we're straight in the action. 40 seconds left on the Aegis.
about this,
Nice
though.
toss in. Remnant as well. Ana might lose his first life, but Xnova's going to be able to keep him healthy with the shield.
It's only got 30 seconds.
They're going to see
left. Yeah,
Karkar next, however. Force staff out to the left side. Karkar will be fine. Do you smoke now on Liquid knowing the Aegis is about to expire?
Potentially, but they didn't really pop anything significant on RNG's side as well. They've got all the vision. Do they have, like, yeah, they got sentries down to be able to cover the back line if they look to pop an observer ward there. It's going to be on Moxie again to be able to find that dispose back into the base. But they're being very diligent right now on RNG, making sure to put someone that's survivable but expendable in Xnova onto the front lines. They're not going to be able to get that backline jump. It's all about Karkar and his life right now.
Does look like they almost doubled their net worth lead, however, with that Aegis picked up.
Ooh, there's that item. Scythe of Vice.
Alright.
So with the telescope on Insania, helps out Zai massively.
That
with the
range.
extra attack range, yeah.
Fire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
There's, of course, going to be issues, though. You need to somehow pop this Aeon Disc from afar. If you can expend that, of course, a 93-second cooldown on the Aeon is going to be really important. Maybe that could give you then an opening to catch out Somnus.
Even just Karkar, but he's got his Aeon Disc in 40 gold. So, yeah, both teams recognizing exactly what they need at this stage. It's just, can they formulate a situation that's going to enable it to happen? As I say that, the smoke comes out right as the Aeon Disc is being delivered in onto Karkar.
They're going. Oh, I was going to say, careful that Courier Insania.
Unseen energies.
Going super far back, trying to catch someone out, feeling safe, farming that creep wave on the bottom side. Farming's not the important thing right now, though, for Liquid. They want to catch someone out, and look at how much RNG are balling up. They realize that they have no, like, big AoE control coming through. Sure, Mickey could get that silence off, but it's not game winning. You're always going to be able to beat KB, and well, now with the creeps hitting onto that mid tier 1 tower, their movement's obvious. They're forced to come back.
So now for Liquid, you got to be cautious because Insane. Oh, Karkar just misses the stun, and now it's going to be inside the base with no follow-up, but RNG, they just beeline to the middle. They're going to make sure Karkar does not go down without any assistance. Ana's in trouble, though. It's Sandra at the last second, buying some time, but Martin with the bashes. Abyssal Blade as well, but Ana's going to be able to get some distance thanks to the Terror Wave. He'll turn to kill Martu. They're going to be cautious, though, because the buybacks, that's how they can come back into this team fight. And they'll just leave Ana alone, feeding him to the wolves, but RNG, that is still a success in the end. That is multiple buybacks forced out of Liquid.
Remove a lot of their vision as well. They still do have that one cliff ward inside the jungle, so they have a smoke available. Can they go for one last play here on Liquid's side? Doesn't seem like it. They're just forced to give the gem over to Mickey. Put him on the front lines, realizing again that the damage isn't going to be there without that Terrorblade being available. So Liquid feel confident enough to leave the base and try and pick someone else off. So again, just using that Nether Toxin to shove out mid.
They're going to see Karkar. Alright. Somnus going to try and counter initiate as well. Akko's going to hold them back for the moment. Chalice wants to enter the fight, but Mickey's going to make sure that's not a possibility. Now with the Viper Strike, Chalice has got Xnova playing behind it, but the Aphotic Shield will only delay the inevitable, making Martu more angry. He wants to take it out onto Somnus, but Abash will not be lucky enough to hold down the puck.
He's going to do a great job of stalling this out.
They got the yours. He's got the Aeon Disc to play with. That should be enough to get him out of... How did he get out of the Remnant? So, Hex is there.
He went back into the Hex.
Still is going to be playing with the Aeon Disc. Martu need to try and get him with the Abyssal Blade. He's a little bit too far away, however. So, Somnus!
Not again!
No way! Somnus is a baller. This guy is nuts to see him back.
He's stopping the push. He's stopping the push. Like, they had no buyback on Karkar as well as Chalice, and Somnus is just playing out of his mind.
Dude, to see this guy back on a lane is incredible. One of the best position twos we have seen in quite some time. He is doing it all to stall the push out of Liquid. That is a die back from Mickey.
I mean, he's had stints on so many different teams, right? LGD for that great TI run. Played on Elephant TI recently. And now really one of the shining stars of RNG. I remember a quote from a video that his dad had. He was being interviewed at the time, and he said, "Gold will shine wherever it is," and that's exactly what Somnus is. He is the crown jewel of the Chinese scene right now.
getting that kill on Mickey, that puts him in a position where you now will have everyone up for this Roshan. Well, this is 4th Rosh as well, so you got another Scepter, another Refresher to play with. And I do not think Liquid can contest this, and they really needed this Aegis considering they bought back on Matu prior. He needed some way to protect against the win condition of that dieback.
I know the Aegis is going to be, sorry, the Aghanims is going to be nice for Kaka. I'm almost at the state where I want X-Nova to get it, because they do have a good amount of AoE damage coming through. So as long as he pops that borrowed time, like, everyone lives. Just got to make sure you're not standing in the nether toxin, so you actually use it. It's going to be Kaka that takes it, though. Makes
I do like that thought, though. I've seen Abaddon Scepters just bring teams back in a game. We rarely see it, but
last one I saw was like snaking against Boom, I think, at Gamers Galaxy. I think he straight up won the game for them in, I want to say, one of the grand final games.
Like that's what I feel like this item can do. Very situational, but all of a sudden it could just come out at the perfect timing and then win a team a game. But of course, we're not going to see it here. It will be Kaka now working with the Burrow. It's going to make this high ground siege that much easier. You've got Ana that can push up, Kaka to protect him, X-Nova soon going to have a Lotus Orb as well, just to pop over onto the Terrorblade.
So much buffing up, man. It's like, it's way too much to have to deal with. He's even got little things like the extra talent. Now he's level 27. Just buffing him up even further as he gets Somnus. He's like, well, I'm maxed out. They got time. I think the main thing that he's concerned about is Insania. That Hex in the mid lane got him a little bit scared. And he wants to make sure that's not a factor moving forward.
Chalice is just like, alright, I can connect pretty fast with all the movement speed I got, so I'm just going to farm safely on our side of the map. And this is a thing that RNG you can easily do with the Aegis advantage. You've got someone towards your side just getting all the farm, and then the rest of the team will keep Liquid choked inside the base and build just such a crazy economic lead. And then you can wait for runes like this. A double damage rune could really open up a potential to go high ground.
Even just level 29 on the puck now, so an extra second on the Dream Coil stun if he's able to proc it. I mean, again, you've got that Terror Wave to enable this, right? So it's just going to go a long way towards cementing RNG's position in this game.
So again, it's going to be similar to what we saw at the last Aegis timing for RNG, where Liquid are just going to hold themselves in the base, and I think when Aegis is about to expire, we're going to see them smoke and try to place a ward on the high ground. We saw last time it was down to bottom where that outpost was, and they placed 2 cliff wards. It's probably going to be something identical to that.
All lanes are fairly pushed. I mean, Foxy's not going to get punished here. Very well could. No buyback. Still just trying to take attention away from the base. Looks like it'll do a decent enough job with Chalice moving top to try and pick someone off as they're farming up here. Will they find him? No, Chalice has the Scythe as well, so he would have been able to catch him out there.
That does give them
give Liquid any breathing room.
Big ward inside the base for RNG. They're dipping it out. They have confirmation with the sentry there. Be difficult to move up and D-ward though. RNG, they've gotten some extra territory up, and meanwhile, hang on, they've got to be cautious. The Nether Toxin instantly with a Spike Carapace gives them a window to get rid of Zai, and now Chalice is going to look to charge in the middle as well. However, with the buyback coming up from Zai, the Scepter on the Viper Strike is going to slow them down through the BKB, but Ana is just pushed up forward in the middle of it all, under the T4 towers. The Sunder's going to time out to a look to turn to deal with Mickey, but Martu's gone unaddressed in his team fight so far. They'll secure the first kill to Chalice. It's going to look to turn to try and deal with X-Nova as well, as 2 hits down the Abaddon. No messing around for Martu's damage. They still have to respect RNG. Ana is no joke on this Terrorblade. Mickey, gotta be cautious. There's the counter. Instant silence to the stuns, but Martu's in once again. And Manta's gonna buy some time for Ana. He's got the second life to play with. It's only gonna be him with Somnus to protect Ana's life. And it looks like there's nothing the puck can do to keep Ana alive long enough to find the Sunder to refresh the health. As Liquid somehow, some way, will keep themselves in this game 1.
them another one of those buybacks though, but the ones that were previously used, they're up in 25 seconds, so feel confident enough to be able to push on forward. As we have a quick look at that team fight again. Boxy, I mean, it's a little suicidal jumping in deep, but it's just so important the amount of emphasis they're putting onto the Nyx Assassin there. They want to take him out. They want to make sure that he doesn't have a factor in these team fights.
Do you go Throne? If he buys back, he's not going to have meta.
Consider it.
Mickey's ran into the park. Aeontis is on cooldown for the moment. Can Mickey solo kill Somnus? Stormcraft is going to buy some time, but he's seen he's in with a Hex as well. No way, Liquid can do this. No way!
Buyback's coming.
Buyback at a park. T4s are going down, Danog.
It's possible. Winnable.
Meta up in 30. They're gonna buy back on everyone else. Do you stick around, Liquid? What's the call? They might just charge it, X-Nova.
Big.
Parker's gonna be in, trying to get rid of the mana. The buyback's gonna come out, but they might be able to
Wave.
block Martu. Looks like the rest of Liquid. It's gonna leave Martu on an island. But the BKB Satanic is back up to full health, but there will no one be around to capitalize on this opportunity. As he at least will take one person into the grave, as Chalice will join him 6 feet under.
Opens up a bit of a win condition for them though, right? For all intents and purposes, the lanes are basically even, right? 1 Rax each. No buybacks on the important heroes for RNG. They're actually the ones that are disadvantaged right now. If Ana dies, I don't see them being able to do the damage to win this game.
And he could die. You mentioned a lot about the itemization. They have the control now. If X-Nova's not nearby, they could just blow him up with Martu's damage.
Now, Insania also just finishing up that Will-O-Wisp as well. A little bit of extra control. Of course, big portion of Terrorblade's damage comes from those illusions, so if you're able to get the positioning just right, you might be able to BKB and still hit, but your illusions aren't going to be able to do jack, and that might just give Martu that little bit of extra breathing room that he needs to be able to dive in onto the back lines, put all of his emphasis onto Ana.
Well, what do you feel like Insania actually does with this Will-O-Wisp? Does he want to use it on the TB, or do they use it behind the Terrorblade in the hopes that maybe it gets the Abaddon? Like, you taunt him for like a second, and maybe that is enough, where he can't get the shield off, and all of a sudden, the Ana TB is just blown off.
Hold on, this is an old Gale Force. It's not global. He can only look to
he's got a gigantic range.
He does,
has a
but I
huge
feel like
range.
I feel like Abaddon and Nyx Assassin are going to be far enough back that it's not going to hit them. So if I'm him, I'm emphasize just valuing my life because, well, it's really important just to keep as many buybacks of your own to be able to counter out the fact that RNG doesn't have them. And if you could just lock down those TP illusions, again, Martu has free reign to fight.
Luckily enough for Liquid, they will have their full 5-man roster to be able to take the fight at the pit. Roche potentially up in 20.
Around 2 minutes for each one so far. So RNG, they're praying to Lord Gaben that it will not be the same this time around. They want a quick one. They want instant. They say, we've paid our toll. Let's make sure that we can take advantage of these little moments while we can.
Go long for 60. Come on, baby. Give me a 60-minute game, at least at the major.
Ana.
You love to see it. Oh, you truly love to see it. Oh, yes. Let's go. Tier 5 items coming up.
Coming up, and, well, Liquid are as well. It's another 2-minute Roshan respawn. Ana, he TP'd all the way down bottom with that Boots of Travel just to keep the lane shoved out a little bit.
This is a great ward. This is a great ward to play with, and look at Somnus' position. They're going to see instantly Somnus will reposition away. Sentry ward combo. It's going to recognize that they're smoked up.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Main smoke. Coming back. They would love to catch this Coddle. It's doing so much. Just keeping them sustainable in these team fights. And they've got the Chakra Magic Dispel as well at that level 20 talent. Most Coddles go for the Spirit Form duration, so just to be able to get rid of the silence from the Puck, for example, it's massive.
It's a big call from RNG. They're just going to send the summons down mid. And if Liquid show with multiple heroes back inside the base, then RNG might instantly look to get rid of this Cliff Ward. Because this is how Liquid are going to take this fight around the pit. They need to play around the secret shot with this ward.
many buyouts. Just want every little bit, using the hairball even to be able to scout here on Matu. Most of the time it's the illusion heroes that have that advantage, but Remnant, hairball, it's going to be able to do a lot.
Welcome to 60 minutes.
Gold is a great
Instantly,
conductor.
straight into those. All right, let's theorycraft. What do we want to see? Give me a fallen
Ex
sky.
Machina. Matu's like, thank you, sir. This is pretty big for Bristle, actually. Double Abyssal, double Satanic, double BKB now in these fights.
Just 20 armor against that Terrorblade would be huge.
It's only 25-second cooldown as well. That is so dumb. I have a lot more map to play with, though, to get these neutrals.
Oh, a Seer Stone. That's actually enormous. You get that onto the backlines, you actually find the Keeper of the Light, you find the Marcy, and then you can just take team fights at your leisure. Arcanist's armor. Haven't actually seen this one work out all that
Chalice.
well.
Boss is going to see Chalice. Just a bit shy to be able to close the distance. Have Liquid got all theirs yet? Liquid's only got 2 and RNG have only got 4. Force Boot's actually going to be inside the base from RNG. Book of the Dead, probably one of the worst ones. Actually, what's the 30 strength intel? Ah, yes. Good on Necros, welcome back.
Just use it to combat the push, right? Like, it's decent enough.
Look at just the scouting as well he's doing on it. Just sending them across the map. You can deal with as well, I suppose. Right, we do have to take a look at buybacks as well. It looks like Zeiss is going to come up shortly, but he's lacking gold. You still have the buyback cooldowns on Dire. So maybe Liquid, they have an advantage here. You have buybacks to play with and RNG do not. So I would really like to see Liquid take a fight once they get all their T5s. And there's the call.
Just wondering if Chalice is going to sell those power treads, considering he's holding onto the Force Boots. He's got a lot of gold to potentially get into that next item for himself.
They're going to see X-Nova. Foxy's going to get the jump. They want to try and target down the Abaddon for the moment. Meanwhile, Ana off the right side as well. Matu's going to try and charge on forward. Abyssal Blade out for the moment. Ana, can he get a Sundeck target? He's trying to stand his ground. Mano against the Bristleback, and they'll turn around. Matu tries to pop the Satanic, getting a little bit of bonus health back. Mike's going to be in with the combination as well as Ana's down. That's the dieback and a Liquid. An incredible opportunity to take this game 1, coming back from near death. As they're on the hunt, pursuing more RNG. You need to retreat as a team as Somnus and Chalice in combination together. The teammates are back in. They'll get rid of Marcy, but Matu, he wants to take them out of this game.
How are the lanes looking? Mikkei's doing his best to try and shove that middle one in. They've even got the Book of the Dead. It's doing work. It's shoving in the lanes a little bit lower.
This is going to be...
This could be it.
A miracle hold from RNG.
Chalice is like, look at me, don't look at the base.
And Chalice, he's separated Matu. He's onto X-Nova as well. Mikkei's got the damage. Somnus is looking to make some space. They won't be able to keep up to him. But meanwhile, Matu, he's just onto the throne. They've got the glyph to hold them back, and they've done it. Liquid have done it. They've come back 60 plus minutes to take game 1 over RNG.
Oh, what a comeback coming through from there. This is the clutch. People like to clown on Team Liquid, saying they choke on these lands, but this was not one of those instances. They're still fighting for their tournament lives. I believe this, at the very minimum, secures them a tiebreaker for the lower bracket, and they've kept their upper bracket hopes alive, remembering that they still need some wins. They need a guarantee TI by finishing, I believe, at least 8th.